Hey everybody, Bravo Echo here, and I'm with old Festus up on the mountain, and we're going to do a quick podcast on Festus explaining some of the differences and some upgrades on the KelTec um, 2000 versus the Ruger PC9. And I'm going to turn it over to him, and I may have a few questions. So, Festus, take her home.
Well, both are good guns. They're both the 9mm carbines. In my opinion, they have two entirely different functions. The Ruger PC9 is a very comfortable gun for me. I really enjoy shooting it. It's a much sturdier gun in feel than the KelTec is. And for my application here on my homestead, the PC9 is what I would grab if I needed to go out the door in a hurry. It feels good. It has natural aim for me. It's balanced, just has a good feel. Some of the features are threaded on the end. I put a Sig Sauer Romeo 5 red dot on it. There's lots of advantages on that particular model for battery consumption, ease of use, etc. In my application here on the homestead, I'm kind of down in a hollow, and yes, I have the 5.56 and 308, etc. And but if being down in this hollow, I'm basically from my home place shooting kind of uphill no matter what direction I shoot. And if I miss, and that bullet keeps on going out above the rim of the bowl, so to speak, that bullet's going to go for a long way, and I have no idea where it's going to go, what it's going to hit, how it's going to drop, etc. So I didn't really need the power of the 5.56 in the long range in my particular application here, so I was real glad when the 9mm carbines started coming out. And in my location, it is legal to hunt with 9mm carbine as well, so it's an added advantage. So it's just a real good feeling gun. And yes, it does come apart, take down for stowing in a smaller bag or whatever. For comparison, the PC9 is heavier than the KelTec is, so for a get-home bag, a bug-out bag, you might want to consider the Sub 2000 instead, because it is lighter. Both have the advantage that, as I understand it, the bullet, when it clears the end of that barrel, the 9mm bullet is got the punch of the 357 Magnum because of the longer barrel. The Sub 2000, I'm sure most people are familiar with. It folds up for easy storage. It's lighter, it fits down in a backpack, real easy. As you can see, I put single point slings on both of them. Again, threaded barrel. Some of the upgrades I've put on this that make it really easy to use. I've put an aftermarket trigger guard and trigger assembly in here. Replaced the plastic with aircraft grade aluminum. I replaced the trigger spring kits in here that slightly lowered the trigger pull just a couple of pounds, but it's still in excess of 5. Put an aftermarket charging handle on here that makes it a lot easier to grab. Gives more authority on the charging handle. I put a rubber piece here on this, gives a much better cheek weld, and it's got the advantage of, in summertime, you're not putting hot metal against your cheek. In the winter, you're not putting cold metal against your cheek. Single point sling mount again. I waited a while on the red dot mount. I know some people put a standard red dot mount here on the right side and have it at a 45-degree angle so that you can use a red dot kind of canted to one side, or go back to the factory open sights if you want to. I wasn't real thrilled about having to cant, although it does have some advantages. A company called Macarbo spent a couple of years perfecting it. They've got a nice red dot mount that from flipping it back and forth, it does hold zero, which is a very nice feature. It just flips up and down that easy. The disadvantage of it is when you've got it compressed down, instead of something laying flat and this high, you're now looking at something this high. If you're stowing it in a bag or under a seat or behind a seat or whatever, that is a disadvantage. So it's personal preference on what you're looking for there. And again, threaded on the end. I put a little bit of fluorescent paint on the inside here to make it easier to pick up on both rifles. They both shoot nice. They both have their function around the house. If I'm grabbing something, I'm going to grab the PC9. The Sub 2000, excellent bag and vehicle gun for getting home. Anything else?
So tell everyone just the ballpark, the cost differential between the Ruger and the KelTec on the open market. About $200, $175, $200 roughly.
Roughly. It's been a while since I bought them. I don't really remember exactly.
It's about 175 to 200.
Yeah, it sounds about
sale
right.
prices.
Yeah.
And what about magazines?
Well, both of these are for the Glock magazines, and both can put in. You know, I've got 30-round stick. Can put in either one interchangeably, whatever.
What about cost up? Same.
Same. Yeah.
Maintenance.
Maintenance is easy on both of them. I mean, take this down. You're a straight shot through the barrel on cleaning and easier to get to the inners there. This one you just break open and it's the same thing. Really easy to get to everything.
Have you bought any staying with the one is none and two is one concept? Have you bought any spare parts for either of them to have on hand? And if so, is there much cost difference in parts?
You know, Butch, you're real good at finding Achilles' heels on people. So,
a man who is a planner.
I do on the KelTec by default because the factory parts that I've replaced I still have.
Okay, so you have.
So
spares.
I've got backups.
Yeah.
So. I haven't replaced anything or upgraded anything on the Ruger.
Yeah, and they're both kind of new.
And they're both new. And out of the box, the Ruger really didn't need anything.
Which is important.
Out of the box, I wasn't real happy with all the plastic parts on the KelTec, so I upgraded.
Which is about $175 cheaper than
Right.
if you want to. And when I say $175 cheaper, you're looking in the neighborhood of about. I just priced these this past week for a person, and if I remember right, this one was in the ballpark of about $540 to $560 for the Ruger. And the KelTec was in the neighborhood of about $340 to $360. That's with no discounts. So it kind of gives you, you know, some plastic parts versus no plastic parts. Anything else you could offer on that?
Well, with the upgrades that I've done on this, I've got a little over $200 in parts.
Yeah. That's without the sighting system.
Well,
the
red dot mount is fairly expensive compared to other mounts that you can get for it. But this is the way this is designed. It is very solid. The mount is very solid. No wiggle, and the fact that it holds zero from time to time to time to time is real important. This mount was if I remember right, about $150 alone. And I've got a little over $100 or so in the trigger upgrades and stuff. But I really like some of these pivot things and important parts being metal instead of plastic. And one other thing that you can't see in here, that the feed ramp from the factory is plastic, and I upgraded that to stainless steel, and I polished it more before putting it in, so it feeds super smooth.
Okay, well, I have one last serious question for you on these. With all the extra money that you put into that KelTec that ran the price up,
Yep.
on it, did you go down to the local corner and perform as Elvis to pick up the extra money to buy that? You don't have to answer.
I've never been a doctor, never even played one on TV, so no.
And from the mountain with Festus, hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching.